Welcome to Photo Finds. I'm your host Kevin E, and this week we are not in Disney World, but at Universal Studios, where they have announced, and you've probably heard this by now, that they are closing Jaws coming in January. And so here we are looking at the Amity area. We're going to take a quick walk through the Amity buildings, and no one has really said out loud what's going to happen here, but it could be a fair guess that these buildings won't make it past refurbishment. The idea is that the Harry Potter expansion might eat up this side of the park, or at least pieces of this side of the park, even if they don't build much else in the Universal side. So I thought I would take us on a brief little tour to see, just for photographic memory purposes, what's in this park and this giant shark you can take your picture with. A lot of people have taken their picture with their heads in the shark, just so that we can kind of have a look back at Jaws someday and realize what was there. This is a covered walkway right near the front of the ride. It was actually used for their Express Pass, their version of Fast Pass, back when it was freely available to anyone rather than an upcharge event. So here's a look at the warning sign. What Jaws suggests: you're not allowed to ride if, and under 48 you have to be accompanied by a supervising companion. Here's one of the skippers. Recently in YouTube there has been a boat break video done by some of the skippers who spent all day just riding boats instead of bumping around into positions like this greeter here. Now, as you can see, the announcement has made the place busy. There have been a lot of people in the line, and there are at least 45-minute waits on busy weekend days these days at Jaws. People want to get one last look at these artifacts from the movies, let's say, or watch this horribly corny video overhead. No, I think really the answer is they wanted to get one last look at the ride before the ride went away forever. And I think that's a fabulous approach for a theme park to take, and I wish more theme parks would do that and let people get one last chance to say goodbye rather than just kind of closing it rudely. So we begin in Amity Village, and we hear that this is Chief Rhodey's house here at the end, and as we make it to the lighthouse and church, we hear a distress call, and rounding the corner we see a boat going down, one of the other boats like the one that we're on. Almost immediately over on this side of the lagoon, a shark will appear, go underneath our boat and show up on the other side, at which point our skipper will shoot at it. And then from there we inch into this boathouse around the corner here, where it's dark and our boat won't really go anywhere. And several of the props on the right-hand side of the boat are shaking at this point because the shark is underneath, and eventually, as we're leaving, the shark makes an appearance and strafes the right side of the boat. Skipper's quite worried by now, and the next scene, showing some backside of Amity there, is punctuated immediately by the shark, who comes out, and the skipper shoots at it, causing a fire and some explosions. You can see a previous explosion here, and the next explosion here, and starting to drift out into the open water. And we go through that to this zone here, where we've got kind of live electrical wires. The shark boils up out of the ground one last time, and you can see through a couple of different shots that the shark's jaws are moving, here wide open and here closing down a little bit. And so these were always nice animatronics. Obviously, this is just like in the movie where the electronics, the electrical current fries the shark, and we see it a moment later over on the side, looking kind of haggard and really as though it had burned up. That doesn't stop our skipper from taking another shot at it, however, as we cruise past, until finally we make it back to Amity. And that brings us then to the end of our voyage. The skipper waves goodbye, and we all say goodbye to Jaws, a beloved institution that won't be around come 2012. Thank you, Universal, for letting us say goodbye to it one last time. We'll be back at the Disney parks next time. Thanks as always for your attention.